10 Rules for a Good Life by Aristotle. Aristotle defined happiness as a good spirit. By that he meant that happiness is a kind of divine state. This divine state would visit each of us as it pleased. Our only responsibility is to open the door to it. We can do so by following Aristotle's rules. 1. Name your fears and face them. Courage is a willingness to sacrifice one's life. It implies acting in the face of fear rather than giving into it. Courage invites happiness to our lives as it leads to resilience. 2. Know your appetites and control them. Temperance means self-control in the face of one's appetites. Aristotle wrote that satisfying our base impulses leads to misery. Modern researchers investigating self-control agree. Self-control can negatively affect our mood throughout the day, but as self-control rises, negative feelings decrease. Happiness is highest when self-control is at its highest. As Aristotle said, there is truth in moderation. 3. Be neither a cheapskate nor a spendthrift. When it comes to money, you need to be moderate too. Aristotle wrote that to be happy people should be generous with their money. Wealth for its own sake serves no purpose.
Money was intended to be used in exchange.
Aristotle explained, being wealthy isn't about possessing, but about using. It is the activity and use of things that make up wealth. As the old saying goes, you can't take money to the grave. 4. Give as generously as you can. Related to generosity is what Aristotle calls magnificence. It means giving to projects that benefit many people. You should be as philanthropic as you reasonably can. Giving feels good and brings happiness. 5. Focus more on the greatness of the soul. A great-souled person is preoccupied by what is more meaningful in life. That means being above transitory pleasures and passing irritations. Being high-minded is being indifferent to good and bad fortune. Developing your mind and spirit leads you to happiness. 6. True strength is a controlled temper. The virtue of gentleness refers to a propensity toward kindness. Aristotle wrote that by controlling your temper, you reach happiness. Researchers say that aggressive thinkers experience lower well-being. 7. Never lie, especially to yourself. Aristotle put a great premium on self-honesty. He counseled against pretense in the form of exaggeration. People should avoid boastfulness, but also self-deprecation. Insecurity and excessive self-criticism lead to anxiety and sadness. Accepting who we are helps us avoid depression. 8. Stop struggling for your fair share. It's hard to be happy when faced with discrimination, but Aristotle meant something different. We shouldn't defend our rights unduly when the law is on our side. We should be content to receive a smaller share. 9. Forgive others and forbear their weaknesses. Aristotle wrote about the virtue of consideration for others. That means not only being polite, but also forgiving of others' faults. 10. Live up to your morality, even in private. Aristotle defined morality as refraining from shameful behavior. You must believe that a certain action is vicious. Only then you as a good person would be virtuous in avoiding it. Moral acts would bring you true happiness.